seem to recall anything in the fairy tale about kissing on the lips.
Oh, it looks like this going to take some time. That's a catchy title right there.
Dreams do come true.
Too whitewashed.
All right, listen, I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder.
Too bland.
Yes, well, the thing to do is issue a reward to the... I beg your pardon?
You sneezed.
No, I didn't. The word is issue, not at you.
You must be catching a cold.
I'll probably catch it too.
Too bittersweet.
My name's Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm gonna wreck it.
30 years I've been doing this.
I can fix it.
It's hard to love your job when no one else seems to like you for doing it.
You're just the bad guy who wrecks the building.
Too deconstructive.
I'm okay.
Summer in the city of Arendelle. It couldn't be warmer. It couldn't be sunnier. But that's about to change. Forever.
Oh my god. Too everywhere.
So Mr. Kabuki was using ESP to attack you and Balloon Man.
Too Marvel.
In the world of Zootopia, humans never happened, which makes Zootopia a modern, civilized world that is entirely animal. That is an animal. Animals in Zootopia are anthropomorphic.
Oh, too ahead of its time.
They do not go to work nude. Thank you. Almost. That's got it.
Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea. I am
Hero of men.
What?
It's actually Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, hero of men. I
Too
interrupted.
Broadway.
From the top. Hero of men. Go.
But which would be my favorite? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Disney Reel to Reel, a deep, deep, deep delve into the Disney animated canon. This month, we're continuing the Disney Animation Era rankings, and we finally reached a bright spot. But joining me today is, regular guest, my cousin, Raeley. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm a regular guest now. I've been upgraded.
Maybe we'll get to co-host someday. I don't know. I don't want to make any...
Maybe someday.
But, yeah, I guess before we get into any rankings, I want to just do two things before we get started. The first one is really just a carryover from our last discussion, which got kind of tense. I just want to take a little vibe check. How are we doing?
Vibes are good.
Okay. Great. Right now, I'm honestly in that weird spot where it's like, I'm ready to do this. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. There is not a cloud in the sky. And yet, I don't know. There's just something not working today.
I don't know. I've had a pretty good day today. I was literally I had an appointment, as I told you. And some middle-aged lady sat next to me and then complimented my purse. So I don't know. I'm having a good day.
Ah, that's nice. Good vibes all around.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the only thing keeping me going on this planet right now is binging The Nanny.
Honestly, sometimes I go back to Super Nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And I binge that. Is it a good show? Not necessarily, but do I love Super Nanny? Yes.
There's just something about 1990s, 2000s TV shows that just It gets you through
They
life
just hit.
sometimes.
They hit different.
Yeah. And then the other thing is I have to make some corrections about information that we shared in our last discussion.
Oh.
Yeah. The first time on this podcast. And I have a feeling that if I don't share these little chunks, I will be like ostracized from the greater Disney fan community or something. Like
I hope it's nothing I said.
I
I'll feel bad.
They're kind of based on claims that we made, and also one of them was like just incorrect.
Okay.
So, but there were only 2, so I'll rattle those off right now. So, number 1, according to the Oxford Dictionary, a triathlon is an athletic contest of 3 different events, typically swimming, cycling, and long-distance running. An academic decathlon is a team competition where students match their intellects with students from other schools. Students are tested in 10 categories: art, economics, essay, interview, language and literature, mathematics, music, science, social science, and speech. Gabriela Montez was a member of the East High Scholastic Decathlon team.
Of course.
And she helped them win their first round in the match against the West High Knights. These high schools are based in Utah and Tennessee, respectively.
Okay. So we flubbed up on some wording there.
Yes, it was very, very important because I feel like some of my listeners, they might be into Disney Channel original movies. It's not just you. So
yeah, I mean, I'm right. I am also very into Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah.
But of course, it's been a minute since I've been in high school. So.
I know. Even shorter than me, I'll give you that. So
yeah, it's been what 2 years?
5 years.
Yeah.
So eat that. Get your head in the game.
Gotta get your head in the game. Gotta get your
head in the game.
But Dad, musical. No, basketball.
Do you ever think that maybe I could do both?
Basketball.
But I want to be in this year's spring musicale. It's called Twinkletown.
It's so funny. But I love the first High School Musical so much.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
But High School Musical 2 is superior.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't even get me started. Yes. Oh, man. That helped me learn some things.
Same.
All right. And then the next...
What's the second thing, yeah?
Okay, the second thing. This was actually something I didn't know, so just give me a slight pass on this. I don't do research on this particular movie. So, Chicken Little... It's actually based on the story of Henny Penny. Disney initially produced the film to star Holly Hunter as Henny Penny, who is supposed to be a paranoid hen who is sent off to summer camp to reduce her anxiety and later repairs her relationship with her father. Michael "Da Man" Eisner rejected this initial pitch and urged Chicken Little instead. Director Mark Dindell was told by Eisner, quote, "If you're a boy and you're short, you get picked on," unquote. In reference to contemporary market research, Dindell later recalled, quote, "I remember being told girls would go see a movie with a boy protagonist, but boys won't see a movie with a girl protagonist. That was the wisdom at the time until Frozen came out and made $1 billion," unquote.
Fuck you, Michael "Da Man" Eisner.
I know. I was about to tell you, it's like, oh, you like Chicken Little as it is now. But imagine how much more you would have liked it.
I would have loved, what was it, Penny Henny?
Henny Penny.
Henny Penny. I would have
I
loved
want to watch
Henny
Penny. Oh my god, in another life.
In some alternate universe where Michael "Da Man" Eisner did not touch Henny Penny.
Where Henny Penny wins an Oscar for Best Animated Feature.
As it should.
Curse you, man.
Curse you, Eisner. Ugh.
Oh, man. All right. That was two very important nuggets.
Awesome.
All right. So, with those out of the way, we can begin talking about Disney's revival era, which it kind of has an awkward timeline because for me personally, I choose to center it around 2009 to 2016, but some people kind of let in the rest of the movies from this decade, mainly the 2010s, and
some people even included Bolt in it, and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, that's 2008, guy.
Yeah, well, I've heard people even put Meet the Robinsons in there.
Really?
But I think that's because of like the management shift.
Yeah. That does make sense, but I don't know. I don't group those movies with these movies.
No, they just have different ambitions.
Yeah.
Which I guess because we kind of have a weird like abstract thing going on with all of these eras, I guess the big thing I want to touch on this time is what is the one word that you would use to describe the revival era?
Woman.
Elaborate.
Woman.
just woman.
I mean, I guess like not all of them, but majority of these movies have a strong female protagonist. If not multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Frozen.
Yes.
And then they also like focus specifically on those like that woman's struggles. And also their like emotional arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Of course there's like 2 movies where it's not as much, but I mean, majority of these movies focus on a strong female protagonist, and trying to be inclusive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really the only thing I think you're forgetting is that I think Kanga got an upgrade in the Winnie the Pooh movie.
Yeah.
She is.
It's been a minute since I've watched that movie, but like I remembered enough of it.
I mean, she is by default the strongest female character in the film because she's the only female character.
Yeah, she is the only female character.
Oh, times they are changing.
The more they change, the more they stay the same.
Oh, man. I actually haven't given this question that much thought. So, one word that I would use to describe is probably... I don't know. Because the first thing that comes to mind is innovation, but that's standard for pretty much any era where Disney's like really successful.
That's standard for Disney.
Yeah. But I guess the big one would be social.
Interesting. Elaborate.
Social, because I feel like these movies are probably the most conscious about contemporary topics within our societies.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they are the ones that I think are the most explicit when it comes to addressing certain things.
Zootopia.
Yes, that one is like a big neon sign saying break stereotypes.
Zootopia.
Break stereotypes. Break
Zootopia and Princess and the Frog, I dare say, are probably the most. Hey, there are some big problems.
Mm-hmm. But spoiler opinions, I think one does it way better than the other.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what you think.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm actually interested to hear which one you think did it better.
Awesome. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess final thing before we get in, if you have listened to any of our ranking episodes prior to now, you'll know that my tiers will remain the same, which go from ma shiz to respect and appreciate, to ite, to dud, to Chicken Little. I don't even have enough energy to shout it this time.
Yeah. Mine, I think they're about the same as they were last time. I don't know. Mine change like every time just because I have ADHD and I do not care.
Fair enough.
But I'm pretty sure I did letters last time, so I kept letters. So I have S, A, B, C, and F.
No, you had other ones in the last one that was like not my cup of tea or like
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if I had letters or not, but I did letters this time. So.
Yeah, I feel like with each recording you put less effort into it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. No judgment. All right. So, with that, we can start off with The Princess and the Frog.
Yes. So, I'm biased. Like my top two, like one of my top two Disney princesses is Tiana. So of course I'm gonna put my girl in S tier. I honestly I love Princess and the Frog. I mean it really helps that like it's set in one of my favorite time periods too. Kind of like that transitional period of like the 1920s, and I don't know. I think it has a lot of heart, and Tiana is just like a fun protagonist in my opinion. I don't know. I like it.
Even the ones
and
you're
I-
very passionate about, you're just like, I don't know. It's just cool.
It's just cool. I like it. The only one I have like more expanded thoughts on is Chicken Little.
Oh my god.
See that in our last episode.
I'm sure you've composed an essay since that discussion.
But I mean, I will say, like, Princess and the Frog, like I mentioned earlier, does also deal with like race politics and stuff. Because again, this is like a further back time in American history, so there was segregation still around. I mean, it's not as prevalent because this is a kids movie. But you do see the difference between Tiana's, low income black upbringing compared to her friend who is a very rich white kind of background. But it is also nice to see like their friendship. I feel like their friendship is also like its own character in a way, because you can see how it evolves from the beginning of the movie compared to the end of the movie. Where yes, her friend was willing to like give her a dress and like do that kind of thing, but by the end she's also willing to give up on the prince because it means her friend would be more happy. And yeah, I like it. Is it the best representation of how life actually was? No. But it's a feel good movie.
And I'm not asking for it to be that accurate.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not asking for it to be any more than what it is. I think it does well with what it has, and it modernizes like an old tale fairly well in my opinion. I love jazz, so like the the jazz influence on the music is also very nice.
Yeah, you got that Randy
I
Newman
mean-
in there.
Yeah, I mean, especially like New Orleans jazz.
Mhm.
It's very nice. Of course, Friends on the Other Side is a masterpiece. So yeah, I think that about wraps up my thoughts on Princess and the Frog.
Okay. So, we were talking about which one works compared to between this and Zootopia.
Yeah, this is Zootopia.
I believe this is the one that requires the most work. Because basically you just have to think about one thing. nearly everything that happens to Tiana in this movie could have and should have happened to Charlotte.
Yeah.
I've also heard a lot of discourse about whether this movie is positive representation or not, and it sounds like people take to Tiana as like a really good Disney princess. But I hate that she's the one who is told to work and is like the working class princess, and it's expected of her from the jump. Whereas you have other princesses like Snow White and Cinderella where it's like they're forced into labor and we know that they're not supposed to be in those places.
Yeah, it is like very different compared with Tiana where it's very much expected of her to just keep her head down and keep working to eventually, you know, get her dream restaurant. But yeah, it definitely compared to other Disney princesses, it's very different.
Yeah, and the fact that like the wishing thing should have been done with Charlotte because then it would have made her appreciate everything she has even more. And I'm just like, why couldn't we have like a squirrely, spoiled, rich black girl?
I too would like that. But I do understand also that they were working within a time period.
They were
They were working within a very specific time period. And I could see them wanting to
I mean, I don't even know if
portray
that's a
it at
totally
least a
great
little.
excuse.
I mean, I could see the thought process of them wanting to like portray it kind of correctly. You know, I could see that argument. But I mean, I too would have preferred, you know, some fairy tale with like, you know, a that time period, but it's like, you know, an upper class black woman who, you know, has all of these things, but then could, you know, learn to appreciate them more. Um,
No, I'm not
but
even
yeah.
saying that she would need to go on the same journey as like Charlotte or Tiana. I'm just saying like why couldn't we have it so that she is wealthy, she is respected, she finds true love, and we don't have to put her through the negative connotations of being a black woman in the 1920s.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm so stuck on. It's like and the fact that like she makes a wish upon a star, which typically is like guarantees immediate wish fulfillment for most Disney characters. But for her it causes a shit ton of problems.
Well, remember in this in this universe, stars are like dead people.
Oh, Evangeline.
Remember? Oh, Evangeline. So it is a little bit different in Princess and the Frog what stars are. But yeah,
I don't know.
I do see your point. But I do also see the point of where it's like honestly her reality is a lot of people's realities. Where they do have to, you know, just work and hope for the best.
I know, but I guess maybe it means maybe it means more for the time in which this movie was made, which was like post Recession 2008, than it is for the 1920s.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, my family was really heavily impacted by the recession, so you know, it hits differently for me, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it hits differently for a lot of people. Especially, you know, people from lower income families. They probably are able to see themselves in Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I kind of see myself in her too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like, yes, it's probably not the best representation. But I do feel like it has its place. It's earned a little bit of pat on the back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like I guess my final statement would be like the way I feel about this movie is the way that I feel about Cinderella sometimes, where it's like
Yeah.
I don't understand where the gender hate is coming from, but I understand where the class hate is coming from with that story. And then with
Yeah.
this one, I am completely all for the class angle, but the race angle, I don't I don't like the
Yeah.
implications.
Yeah. But I mean, she gets a happy ending just as much as anybody else does.
She does, but she
I mean,
still has to
she
work.
gets her restaurant. Yeah, but she wants her restaurant. It's her dream. And it's been her dream since she was a child.
Well, I guess that brings up another plot question. Is like, does she want to own her restaurant, or does she want to like?
I'm pretty sure, like, they say she wants to own it.
But she
Like,
also
she
wants to be the
a
head chef.
businesswoman. I don't know if they necessarily say that, but I mean,
Well, because we see that she's good at like she's good at cooking. She teaches Naveen how to like mince.
I do remember that she got a lot of her passions from her father, and he liked to cook, so she likes to cook, and she learned, like, the value of hard work from him as well.
And that is important. That I understand,
Yeah.
like that is important, but I'm just like
But I know for sure that she, like, she wanted to own the restaurant. And she wanted to, be her own little businesswoman girl boss. But then, of course, meeting Naveen and, falling in love, gives her the funds to do that.
That does help. I don't know. This one I'm putting it in the IT tier. Like, it's not bad. There's just enough things that don't make it make sense to me.
I mean, valid.
Yeah. So where are you putting it?
S.
Oh, yes.
Fuck you, S.
Oh my god.
I'm putting it right next to another spoiler movie.
Well, here's the thing. I think the first time that I ever saw anything about Princess and the Frog, it was actually from a Disney on Ice show. So obviously they condensed things.
Yeah, they condensed it.
But they still kept the whole thing about them turning into frogs and visiting Mama Odie and all that stuff, but like...
Okay, but did you get Dr. Facilier on Ice?
I think we did.
That's amazing.
I know. But then they redid that show in like 2014, and they like chopped Tiana's story in half, and then they put Snow White in.
Oh. That's not cool, guys.
I mean, to me, as a Snow White stan, it is kind of cool, but like, as a person with a conscience, I don't think so.
Yeah. As cool as Snow White is, maybe don't cut the one, like the maybe don't cut the Princess of Color story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had her in
maybe
there.
Cut one of the other ones.
They had her in there, but they had her as like the opening musical number.
Yeah.
And it was just like a medley of old like jazz standards. But but then they were like, cut to Snow White, and then Cinderella, and then Rapunzel.
It's like, yeah, I don't know about the move on that one, guys.
Yeah. Well, I think they've changed that show since, and now I think it includes Moana instead of Snow White.
Okay.
Okay, so they're improving.
That's a little bit better to me.
They're improving. But then that means my girl gets pushed into the background even more.
She's been in the spotlight enough, okay? She was the first Disney princess.
But Moana is in like, I think 2 to 3 Disney on Ice shows, and Snow White...
Let Moana have her moment, okay? Snow White can sit down for 2 seconds.
I am totally willing to give Moana that moment. That's not what I was implying. I do like Moana, but we'll get to that. We'll elaborate on that later.
Okay. Anyway, next movie.
All right. Tangled.
This might be a hot take. I'm actually not a Flynn Rider stan.
Okay. I feel like I should be angrier about that, but considering
I
where,
mean,
where
I feel
we're
like a
at,
lot of
like,
people
yeah.
are going to be angrier about it.
I mean, I literally saw a video on Instagram of like a guy, we'll say Flynn, at the Disneyland resort, and he was leaving a meet and greet, and he was giving a group of people the smolder, and there was one woman that was like screaming, like,
Yeah.
like it was Beatlemania all over again. Like,
I mean, honestly, to me, Tangled just. The best part of the movie for me is Mother Gothel. Like, if I am sitting down to watch Tangled, I am sitting down to watch Mother Gothel.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm far more interested in the main villain of the movie than I am the main character and the main love interest.
Wow, this is a hot take.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people would agree with me that Mother Gothel is a great part of the movie. But
I mean, we'll get to my opinions. We'll get to my opinions. Carry on.
Now, I am not a stranger to the controversy.
Oh, there's a controversy?
Gothel. Yeah. A lot of her like facial features are pretty solidly like Jewish.
Oh yeah.
So her being, this like power hungry villain is like a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought she looked a lot like Cher.
I mean, I feel like she is supposed to look like Cher.
It was the hair.
Yeah, it's her hair is amazing.
It is.
I dare say it's better than Rapunzel's. But
oh, girl.
Look, Rapunzel is my least favorite Disney princess. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're spilling too much right now. You're wrecking my world.
Some piping hot tea. I don't like Flynn Rider. I don't like Rapunzel. Yeah. I mean, I like the movie. I do think the whole like the magical flower and all of that. I think that is really cool, and I do like what they did with Rapunzel's hair, where like it has the power of the flower.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was really cool. And of course, like the lanterns lighting on her birthday. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Like that's her parents are real ones for that. Like that's adorable.
Oh my gosh, that like minute of them just like tearing up as they release the lantern into the sky, that is so powerful.
It's so powerful, and I do like those aspects of the movie, like the small character moments. I really like those. But but like everything else just kind of feels like they're trying too hard. Like they're trying too hard to make Flynn Rider into a Tumblr sexy man.
You think he's a Tumblr sexy man?
I think he's a Tumblr sexy man.
I felt like he was a bit beefier than that.
I don't know. I mean, come on. If
maybe
maybe
it's the wit. Maybe it's the wit.
If the Onceler can be if it can be a Tumblr sexy man, then Flynn Rider can be a Tumblr sexy man.
Well, I think it's like Flynn has the wit of a Tumblr sexy man, but the Onceler has the build of a Tumblr sexy man.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
I mean, with Flynn Rider, it's just I feel like they were trying too hard to make him into this like cool, suave, sexy man.
Oh my god, I just remembered they actually had a meeting about that. They had a meeting with a lot of the female employees at the studio, and they had different photographs of various male celebrities, past and present, up on the walls, and they had women come in and decide like who was the most attractive, and those men made up Flynn Rider.
Yeah.
And Gene Kelly was one of them, and I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah, I don't find him charming. But that might just be me because I am a very nerdy person. So someone who is like not that like at all
Mm-hmm.
I don't like.
Mm. Do you think it would have been enhanced if they had a gay presence in his design?
I feel like he could have benefited from some gay people tweaking.
Okay.
I feel like he could have benefited from some gay tweaking.
Raeley, build me a time machine. I'll do wonders.
Hey, yo, I'll join you. Let's go. And I feel like the two animal companions were also, they were trying too hard to make funny animal companions. Now, okay, the chameleon is kind of funny. But the horse, sometimes he feels like more of the main character than the main characters.
And would we have it any other way?
I mean, with the way Flynn Rider is, no. But like at the same time, I'm like, I also don't really like the horse.
Fair.
Rapunzel, I guess I shouldn't say I don't like her, because like I do kind of like her. I think she's spunky. But I mean, super naive, happy-go-lucky characters always kind of rub me the wrong way, I guess. Because like it just doesn't feel right.
I mean, I think the worst thing I could say about her is that she is very speak now Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And I mean, like, also the fucking scene where they go into like is it the ugly duckling?
Snuggly duckling.
The snuggly duckling. They go into the snuggly duckling, and like, she gets all of these bandits together to join her in song, and it's just so Disney movie that it just takes me out immediately. It doesn't feel, and I mean Disney movie in a bad way.
What are some characteristics?
Like
too many musical numbers, flamboyance.
Too many, like, it's like it's a musical number that doesn't belong to me. Like a musical number that is like kind of shoved in there because it's expected. And it feels like they tried, too hard. This whole movie feels like they're trying too hard. That's what it is. It feels like they're trying too hard and they're missing the mark miserably.
And for their 50th too.
Yeah. Except for Mother Gothel. I think Mother Knows Best is an amazing music number. And like the whole use of like the candles and the lighting was so cool.
Oh yeah, the animation is still gorgeous.
Oh yeah, and honestly, the animation in the whole movie is gorgeous. Like all of the lighting effects are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
With like the lanterns and of course the candles. All of the lighting is like amazing for what they were able to do. But like the actual story, I don't know. And of course, like, I don't like Flynn. I don't like Flynn. Mother Gothel was right. He sucks.
Wow. So you were cheering when she stabbed him in the side.
Yes, I was. I was like, yes, girl boss, do it.
Oh my God. And when she turned old, you were like, Queen, no.
I was like, girl, you can still girl boss as an old woman. Come on.
Well, no, the thing is she can't do that because she's decomposing rapidly.
I know. I mean, obviously not like decomposing level, but I mean, she still girl bossed all the way herself out that window. That defenestration, am I right, guys?
Girl bust her way out that window. I love that. If there's one iconic catchphrase from this entire podcast, it's
girl
bust her way out the window.
I don't know. I'm pretty proud of it.
You should be. You should be.
But anyway, I put I put Tangled in C.
Wow. And that's the third tier?
Actually, no. Actually, B.
Okay.
I put her in B just for Mother Gothel.
Wow. We're...
And the small character moments, like whenever the parents were doing the lantern.
Yeah, it sounds like you really like the subtlety in this movie.
Uh-huh. I liked the subtle things more than the actual like things that are going on.
Okay. Not to say that I don't like those things. But I was asking if you had it in the third tier, because if so, then this and Princess and the Frog are like flipped for me.
Yes, so B is my third tier.
Oh, okay.
So I have S, A, B, C, and F.
Okay. So yeah, it is in your third tier, and we have these two movies split. Oh man. Let me just say that this, to me, in a way, this movie feels like a clap back to Chicken Little. Because what was that sound?
No. It's just me like
tisk tisk. Okay.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. In Chicken Little, you're dealing with an unsupportive dad, doesn't believe in his son. He just wants him to stay in the background and don't bring attention to himself, don't express himself in any other way whatsoever. And then in Tangled,
except for baseball.
Except for baseball, because that's what he fucking did when he was a fucking high school jock.
It's just High School Musical.
Oh my god. How dare you put that movie's name in conversation? High School Musical is way better. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yes.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Wonderful. Tangled is an adopted mother / kidnapper who...
I dare say just kidnapper.
Kidnapper, yes, who gaslights her captive into thinking that she is incapable of going out into the world, who lowers her self-confidence, who makes her feel bad about herself in pretty much every way.
She's a girl boss.
Gaslight? Yes. Gatekeep?
Gatekeep?
Yes.
Yes.
Girl boss?
Girl boss? Yes.
The jury's still out on that one.
No, she is a gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Anyway,
You know what? And Flynn Rider is a mansplain manipulate male wife.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
There you go.
So you thought Naveen was better?
Yes.
I mean, if we could just find somebody who's the best of both worlds, then I would take the guy who's in between Flynn and Naveen. But on their own, I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't take either of them on their own.
No.
If there was a happy middle ground, yes.
Yeah, Naveen is just such a playboy.
Yeah.
He's so lazy. But anyway,
at least he's not some other guy that's going to be coming up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I know who you're talking about. We'll get to that.
We'll see. We'll see if you know who I'm talking about.
But this movie, Tangled, it made me wake up and realize some of the shenanigans going on with my family. And so and I really felt for her when she made those first steps and leaps out of the tower and just let herself be one with nature and let the hair down, but ting. And when she just got to go on this epic road trip. And I just like...
You know what? This is a road trip movie. You're so right.
And I think that's what I liked about it. It's a Disney princess road trip movie.
I will say I do think that Moana and Tangled have that in common. They're road trip movies.
Yes. Yeah. Except I think one finds out more about themselves than the other. Aside from the really forced realization that I'm the lost princess.
Yeah.
You see this stained glass portrait of the royal family that hangs in this village. There's the baby in it looks suspiciously a lot like me.
Yeah.
Except she's got a crown on her head, and I just put a crown on my head yesterday, and it looked
It's like,
the same. So therefore, I am the lost princess. Yeah, that's one demerit for her in my book.
One demerit for Tangled.
For Rapunzel, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the animation, everything. Like, we have made it 13 years since this movie came out, and I have never seen hair look so good.
Yeah.
It looks so realistic.
I mean, other than Moana's hair.
Yes, she is impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I mean, they created a whole new engine just for Moana's hair. Because they couldn't, get the right texture and the right stuff.
Well, yeah, probably because with Rapunzel you're dealing with straight
engine.
hair and Moana's curly.
Yeah, it's straight blonde hair.
Color doesn't matter.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I mean, still, but like for straight hair, yes, we have not. I don't think we've had like that good looking of hair.
Yes.
It genuinely looks real.
Mm-hmm.
And I can feel the heft of that hair.
Especially when it changes in size depending on the shot.
Yeah.
Like there's one where they're running through that dark tunnel, and I think it's like 25 feet or something.
Yeah.
Even with a lump in her arm.
It's very funny.
I'm sorry. I'm easily amused by her hair.
No, I mean I am too. I think it's very funny. Because I did watch one video about like how much hair dye it would take to like dye her hair to like all be like very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
Disney magic.
Disney.
But yeah. Other things. I guess the one thing that this and Princess and the Frog have in common is that, as with previous eras, it's like the first few movies of these groups, I feel like they're responding to the success of earlier movies. So, like with the Renaissance, we have Little Mermaid and Rescuers Down Under and Beauty and the Beast, which are all responding to the successes of like the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Dark Age. Which is surprising because apparently Rescuers can go shoulder to shoulder with, Snow White or something.
Yeah.
But with the revival...
Hey, at least it's not Black Cauldron.
Oh, God. Hello, I'm Princess Ailonwy. Hello, I'm Princess Ailonwy. Hello, I'm Princess Ailonwy. But with these movies, I feel like they're a response to the Renaissance itself, and so, especially because with Princess and the Frog, you had Ron Clements and John Musker, who directed Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, so
yeah.
they're not hiding the tradition at this point. And I don't know, it's just something about Tangled. It feels like a Beauty and the Beast type movie to me. I don't know.
Okay, but the Beast is more charismatic than Flynn Rider.
You're right, he is hotter, even though he's a man-bear pig.
Yeah, he's way hotter.
I mean that Bruce Wayne voice. The castle is your home now, so you can go anywhere you like, except the West Wing. What's in the West? It's forbidden. But anyway.
The library is yours. I give you the library.
All of my copies of The West Wing from CBS on DVD are in this room. Actually, that's not important. I don't know if The West Wing is a CBS show or not, but we're not getting into that. But anyway, yeah, I guess with a lot of those things put together, also I don't know if I love to hate Mother Gothel, but she is a highlight, but I hate her. So
Which is fair. You're supposed to hate her.
I hate her guts. Like the only people I feel like that are on her level are like Lady Tremaine and Claude Frollo and like
Okay, Claude Frollo is also one of the villains that I love to hate. I his first line where it's like, I am guiltless, she ran, I pursued. Like,
I'm sending this baby back to hell where it belongs.
it's literally so funny. Like, yes, he is talking about a woman who just died on the steps of Notre Dame.
That's wild. It's wild.
But the way he just goes, she ran, I pursued.
I saw, I came, I conquered. End of story.
No, literally, that's literally his vibe the whole movie.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I hate him. But it's very much the kind of thing where like I love to watch them be villains.
Yeah, but I do think that Mother Gothel might be the most fabulous.
I dare say she has the best fashion sense.
I mean, Lady Tremaine, she does kind of have a fabulous voice, but she doesn't have have the flair of fabulosity.
She does not have the flair, unfortunately.
No.
She has the cat, but she does not have the flair.
And she has the drag queen daughters, but like
yes. And one of them marries a baker.
Yeah, and she learns time travel.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those Cinderella sequels go places.
They go places.
Like this is like my last tangent on Cinderella, but
we haven't even talked about the actual Cinderella yet.
We have not. But anyway, that one frame where it's like the prince
jumping out of a window. Iconic.
It's so funny. But okay, that's my last tangent on Cinderella.
We haven't even hit 1950 yet. That's wild. But yeah, because of all of those things, and the fact that this world in Tangled looks the best in the Kingdom Hearts 3 video game, I'm putting it in the mushiz tier.
Nice.
It's just everything to me. I'm sorry that you can't appreciate it.
I can appreciate some things.
Okay. And with that, we move on to Winnie the Pooh.
How do I formulate my thoughts on Winnie the Pooh? Okay. My main experience with Winnie the Pooh was like the DVD shorts that they put out. Like Huffalump Halloween.
Oh, those direct-to-video garbage piles.
Yeah. Shut up. Huffalump Halloween is good.
But Huffalump movie, that is...
No, the Huffalump movie... No, but Huffalump Halloween is good. I'll beat you up. Tigger's my favorite character. Fuck you.
Wow. I'm a rabbit, so...
Okay, that's fair. But I mean that was my main experience with Winnie the Pooh. And of course, the ride in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. That's one of my go-tos. I think I liked it. But I mean, it's definitely hard for me to like sit down and watch a full movie of Winnie the Pooh. I like having him in short doses, not in like a full-length movie. Tigger is a sleigh. Eeyore is a sleigh. Piglet is me when I'm unmedicated. And everyone else was cool, I guess.
Wow. Wow.
I don't mean to be harsh.
Yeah.
Because like I mean I am putting it in the same tier as Tangled.
Okay. It was just more
yeah,
underwhelming to you.
Yeah, it's just more underwhelming. But yeah.
This movie kind of makes me sad.
Uh-huh.
But not for anything in the movie itself. It's just that this is the last dying breath of hand-drawn animation, and
Yeah.
and we could have done worse. We could have done much worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I have like a bittersweet feeling about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's just like we hear so many people complaining about why don't they bring 2D animation back and anything when we know that they won't do it because it
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't help to put your movie out the same weekend as Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, but what were you thinking?
Definitely an interesting battle to
Yes.
choose. But it was the wrong one,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Solidly the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it was intentional to do it. At this point, like, I'm willing to put that on the table. It's like maybe they kind of wanted this movie to fail so that all the men and women could stop getting carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. But,
Either that or they felt that they were moving away from it completely, so they just wanted to end it.
I know, but it's wrong of me to take the cynical path, but, you know.
I really I'm very cynical, so I'm willing to bet that they purposefully released this movie at a very inconvenient time so that they could justify killing the 2D animation department, like, fully.
Yeah. And that bums me the hell out.
Yeah.
But, still pleasant. Same quaint Winnie the Pooh experience. It was weird hearing SpongeBob do the voice of Rabbit.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, and it's weird because the guy they had voicing the character for like 30-something years was still around when they were making this movie, but I don't know.
Maybe his rates were too high. I don't know.
I don't know. But fun fact, the guy that they abandoned, his name is Ken Sampson. He was actually an East High student. Class of 1944.
That's amazing.
So he's a wildcat.
He's a wildcat. Go Wildcats!
Oh man. Also, the songs were like just the right amount of derivative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because it's the same team who will go on to write Frozen, but they're trying to be the Sherman Brothers, and I think that they did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
And they also did the songs for that Finding Nemo musical at Disney World.
I haven't seen that, so I can't speak to its quality.
Okay, I just remember there being a song about a big blue world, and I was like, that's cool.
Oh wait, are you talking about like the Epcot ride?
I think that song is in that ride.
Yeah, that song is in that ride. Yeah, there's the Big Blue World is the ending song to the Epcot ride.
Yeah.
I like that.
So they did that. Yeah. I guess all in all, I think it's a solid effort, but the only movie that I'm putting this above is Princess and the Frog. Which means it's in the IT tier.
Yeah.
Still sad, still satisfied, but still conflicted, but still I don't know where the hell I
feel
am.
like I would like it more if it were shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, and then we move on to Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. This is like the one movie that I had to rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like it. I think I'm in the camp of liking Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet, however, I hate.
Yeah, same.
We're not talking about that today.
Same.
Yeah. How do I talk about this movie?
This movie came out the same year as Gangnam Style. How about that?
Fuck. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell this is the same year as Gangnam Style, to be honest.
Don't they have like a J-pop song playing for Sugar Rush?
Yes,
It's like
I believe so.
SUGAR. Tell me, tell you, because the Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush. And I'm like, girl, this woman has swallowed like 5 billion pixie sticks.
Sorry, I'm.
You're at a loss for words. I understand.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is by AKB48.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was performed by the J-pop group AKB48.
Okay.
I was like, I know who sings this. Yeah, I'm a huge J-pop fan, but that's besides the point. I overall I did like the plot. I like seeing villains not necessarily being villains. They're just villains because the game said so.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like the little support group they had.
Yeah.
That was a kind of funny joke to me.
Oh man, what
Is
was
that
the
is that
funniest
where like
thing
the
to me?
is
Trying to
that where they
remember.
were like, just because you are a bad guy does not
Yes.
mean you are a bad guy.
Yes.
Then I love that.
Oh, I know what my favorite funny moment was.
Oh, what's your favorite funny moment?
You are one dynamite gal.
Yeah, that was
That
pretty
was my
good.
favorite.
I wish that the sexy first person shooter lady.
Jane Lynch from Glee, yes.
Uh-huh. I want to give her a hug. I think she needs a hug. And the villain fucking I don't even know what his name is. I
King
just
Candy.
watched the movie. King Candy. That twist
also Turbo.
was
Spoilers.
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah, Turbo. That twist was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But also I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Did he
It
need
was a
to
little.
become a?
It was a little unnerving to have him do his like Mad Hatter impression all the time, but
Yeah. Honestly, just
I'm sorry.
yeah, it felt weird, just because a like a villain. I'm putting quotation marks. A villain is the protagonist. They had to make their actual the antagonist. They had to make him seem super not. villain.
They had to make him the twist villain.
Yeah, they had to make it a twist, otherwise, like, it would go against the message or whatever. And I feel like they took an interesting direction with making
Mhm.
it a twist. Honestly, I feel like it would have been more fun if they didn't like disguise him as King Candy. I feel like it would have been fun if they just brought in Turbo. Like he's
Mhm.
just straight up Turbo, and he's been like hiding in the code or whatever. Which he was doing, but again, he like made himself into like King Candy or whatever.
Mhm. And I will say, I feel like these people understand how arcade video games work compared to the internet, as we saw.
Yes, it does feel like they actually do understand arcade cabinets and like how they work. But yeah, the internet was.
Where's the OnlyFans site? I know it's a Disney movie, but it's 2023. Come on now.
It's like, come on, guys. Yeah.
It sounds like you're really grasping.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a good movie, but I just don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
And I'm grasping at straws trying to figure out what to say.
Well, I guess one thing that, well, I don't know if it would help, but just putting into context that this movie came out shortly after that terrible hurricane.
Which one?
I think it was Sandy.
Was it Sandy?
No. Because I think that school shooting also happened that year. Hold on. And that was at Sandy
Sorry,
Hook.
hey man, there's a lot of school shooting.
Don't remind me.
There's like already been like 17 this year alone.
Oh, I was right. It's Sandy.
Hurricane Sandy?
Yeah, it was just a bad year to be Sandy. I'm sorry. That's not funny. But
Hurricane Katrina?
More like Hurricane Tortilla. Oh, man. The mileage those kids got out of that. Oh, my God.
Not for real.
But anyway.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I do like that they kind of, talked about arcades and stuff, because I am a little bit of a nerd about arcade cabinets and stuff. So it is fun to, kind of have that brought back in a way. Like, it gives me nostalgia for something that I never had.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is the best way to describe it. But yeah, I think I'm done. That's all I wanted to say.
Yes. Yes. Fair enough. I think this is the movie where they finally decided that Disney has a tradition, but we don't have to follow it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one that feels like it's trying to be something different, something more contemporary, both in terms of technology and also the social values and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because now they're asking more complex questions, like in the text, that are like, what does it mean to be a bad guy when you're not a bad guy? Like if you're treated as one, but you're not really one and stuff. And like, that's not usually the kind of thing that Disney even puts in as subtext. So it's like,
yeah, to have it be,
a level of complexity.
Text is wild.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I feel like I remember more about what happened the year this movie came out than I do.
This movie is like, it's a
like,
good
we literally
movie.
thought the world was going to end the year this movie came out.
Oh yeah, was this 2012?
Yes.
Yeah, we literally thought the world was going to end. It was our own little Y2K.
Yes.
Yeah, we were all stuck on the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, we were doing Gangnam Style to the grave. Yes.
Yeah. Look, all of you plebeians were obsessed with Gangnam Style while I was rocking to Ring Ding Dong.
Hey, I never said I was obsessed. I'm just saying it was very prominent. Thank you.
I don't know. Our family was a little about it.
They were? Your family or the extended family?
Our family. Our family.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I dare say there was some mild xenophobia
Yeah.
with it.
I'm sure I think I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I don't remember it vividly. I was too worried about being alive
We
the
were-
next day.
We were all too scared of 2012 being over.
And yet some great music came out that year.
There was some
aside
really
from
good
that.
music.
Like I remember there was Born to Die by Lana Del Rey.
Mhm.
There was Electra Heart by Marina and the Diamonds.
One of my favorite songs.
Which one?
Electra Heart.
Oh man, yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm totally a Marina stan compared to
Yeah,
Lana.
I'm a
Are you
Marina
kidding
stan.
me?
I'm also Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land is also one of my
Oh
favorites.
yeah. Some of those songs I'm kind of wishy-washy about, but I like the beginning and the end.
Yeah. Valid.
Yeah, but I love pretty much everything she's put out. But anyway, um,
Wreck-It Ralph.
yeah, 2012 was wild. So that means I'm
Yeah.
putting it in the respect and appreciate tier.
I'm putting it in B tier, right beside Tangled.
Okay. Tangled is better than Wreck-It Ralph. Come on.
No.
Wow.
Tangled is better than
this is where we
Winnie the
draw the
Pooh
line.
2011.
Okay, yes. But that's because it's like 30 minutes longer.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, next movie.